Hi, everyone. Welcome to our weekly wellness tip. I'm Dr. Natalia Pellegrino, and I'm here with my good friend, Vanessa Meyer. And today we're going to talk about ginger, which is one of our favorite herbs. And we're going to tell you how to make a really easy ginger tea that you can have all winter long. So ginger, it's one of my favorite medicinal herbs, and I think we think of it as a food, but it's also got many medicinal properties, and herbs and roots have so many different actions that support different systems of the body. So we'll start with one of the main things, which is what you might think of with ginger for immune support. Vanessa is going to tell us about that.
So ginger, I love it so much. It's great for wintertime immune support specifically. It's antimicrobial, which means it supports immune defenses against invading pathogens like bacteria, fungal organisms, viruses, and parasites. Studies show it affects against the flu virus. It helps to soothe the scratchy throat, and it's a warming herb for when you feel the chills.
Yeah, so it's a great wintertime herb that helps to warm up the body just from a constitutional sense. It's really good to do in the winter. So I want to talk about a few of the other benefits that you might not think about with ginger, but it also acts as an anti-inflammatory. So that makes it really good for pain, all types of pain, including joint or muscle pain, so post-workouts, headaches, migraines, and also period cramps. So for all of my female patients suffering from period cramps, I tell them, the day before you're expecting your period, it's coming, just start drinking the ginger tea, and it actually really helps with the cramps as well.
Yes, I've used this before for myself, and it's really helps. There's so many benefits specifically for digestion, and I feel like people know it mainly for digestion. It reduces nausea, dispels gas, it improves motility, which is peristalsis. That's what we want, the sounds gurgling in our bellies and all that stuff, and helps you have good bowel movements and things like that. So ginger can be supportive for those things along with bloating and constipation. It's an antioxidant. This is a nice catch-all phrase, right? But we really mean it. It means it's anti-aging as well, and it prevents your cells from rusting, as Dr. Pellegrino stated before. It makes me laugh.
Yeah. And it has some other benefits like lowering blood glucose, cholesterol, even lowers blood pressure. So this is really good post heavier holiday meals, potentially, where you're maybe eating a little bit more carbohydrates and sugar. So it helps to compensate for that. I know. And if you have these conditions in your family, great as a preventative, or if you already have some sort of metabolic issues, pre-diabetes, diabetes, good to get on the ginger tea. A couple of precautions. So because ginger is a very spicy tasting herb, it can cause a little bit of heat. So if you have a known stomach ulcer or things like chronic heartburn, GERD, could cause a little bit of irritation, just something to be aware of. But if you have any of those conditions, by the way, lots of other things that we can do to address the root cause. So I want to go through, and we'll put this in the notes, but a really simple recipe. So basically, you get your ginger root at the store. It looks like this, and it's usually in the section close to the mushrooms and other roots potentially. Usually in a bin, and you just get all different sizes. So I wouldn't go overboard, just get what you're going to use. And then you just break off a little piece, like about the size of a thumb, because you want about 1 tablespoon. And it has a tough outer peel. So you just want to use a regular vegetable peeler, peel that off, it just exposes more of the medicinal properties. And then you want to chop it up pretty fine, because that just allows it to steep a little bit better and exposes more of those medicinal components. So you put that in a pot with 2 cups of water. So a tablespoon of chopped ginger root to 2 cups of water is the ratio that I usually use. You can also do a variation with half ginger root and half turmeric root, if you have that at the store as well. And we might need to do a whole tip on just ginger root and things like golden milk at some point, because that's another amazing herb. So then you bring that to a boil and you reduce it to a simmer, cover the pot and simmer for at least 15 to 20 minutes. And then I like to just let it cool on the stove for like 30 to 60 minutes, just gives it extra time to steep. And then you strain that into your mug or just put it in a mason jar, cover it in the fridge. I like to use that same ratio and just make like a quadruple portion. So I have enough for like a whole week. And then there's lots of good things that you can add to that. And Vanessa will tell us about that.
Thank you. So our add-ins are honey. You can always make things taste really good with honey, right? Lemon, lime, orange for added vitamin C. Elderberry syrup, which obviously you've made since our last video, right? Obviously
you have it.
Yes, so you should use that. And just remember not to put it in like boiling hot water. You don't want to kill the properties of the honey. So just have it cool down first. You can add a dash of any other warming spices that sound good to you. We're big fans of cinnamon, turmeric, cardamom, so flavorful and aromatic, cloves, star anise, and nutmeg. You can let the water cool down and then add sparkling water for a homemade ginger ale, which I have not tried yet and I can't wait to do. So I will probably do that tonight. That's exciting.
Amazing.
And as you know, like we said before, because it helps with nausea, digestion issues, and things like that, how good is it to have something like this on hand where you can just make your own? So you can bottle this, we have sparkling water you can keep in the fridge for however long, and then just to make this as nice and quick. So if you're specifically in a bind or you don't want to be using the store-bought stuff, to make your own is just incredible. And Dr. Pellegrino is going to go over our bonus thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, bonus tip for you. So speaking of the homemade ginger ale, I like to also make what I call it ginger. It's basically a simple syrup where you use similar proportions, and we'll give you this recipe as well, but it's water, fresh ginger root, and raw sugar. So you make that into a more concentrated syrup, similar to what we did with the elderberry. So it's a little bit more potent, and then you can add that to your sparkling water, or you can add that to your tea. So it's just a nice, more concentrated option that you can keep in your fridge and just add into other things. And I think it keeps longer than the ginger tea. So that's nice. Another precaution with that though, is if you're pre-diabetic, diabetic, or have other issues with blood sugar regulation, you just want to stick to the plain ginger tea option that we talked about. So that's it for now.
So I hope you've enjoyed our tip of the week for wellness, and that you're staying healthy, and all these tips are just really, you're going to use them, right? Say you're going to use them. Yes, perfect.
I'm going to use them.
We'll be with you next week for another wellness tip. Until then, I hope you stay well and be happy.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.